There was no one near the edge of the cliff. Fenric sat on a dust-covered rock in front of the cut-off cliff, quietly looking down where it was impossible to even see the bottom. Then he began to think quietly, organizing his thoughts. Since no one accompanied him, it seems that the magic stone and the message reached Dietrich safely. Dietrich was not going to leave Ivan unpunished. The purpose of sending the magic stone was definitely to achieve this. It's better for them to fight each other, these humans are useless. But Ivan was a thinking person, and it was impossible for him to dare to confront the emperor. Even if he was a great wizard, if he did the same thing he did to Fenric, he would undoubtedly be executed. In addition, there was Siegfried, who would join him in 2 days at most. From the Forest of Taboos. Ivan's words about the taboo forest were true. Although the number of monster appearances had decreased significantly, the taboo forest was still a monster stronghold. Fenric would have preferred that. As happened with Noah Deverne, he wouldn't have to go to unnecessary lengths to search for griffin-type monsters, for example. If he died over there in the monster stronghold, there is nothing strange about it. Yes, not strange. Fenric laughed sarcastically. His only goal was not to get rid of Siegfried. Rather, going to the Forbidden Forest was also an opportunity for him. For whatever reason, anyone who enters the taboo forest must have their name in the records. Whether they are found unconscious or even a corpse. Fenric already knew what Ivan said to Presepe. Since Precipice's arrival at the palace, Fenric had prepared precautions everywhere except her room. After he left, he asked Presepe what happened to her, but that was just to listen to her answers, to find out what she was saying. But Presepe didn't tell him everything. She only said that Ivan promised to help her, and told him the details of the conversation in a modified form. She didn't want to tell Fenric that she might have monster blood. This would cause a lot of problems for them. Fenric easily understood Precipice's thoughts. Frankly, Fenric didn't have much confidence in Ivan's strange talk. However, he thought it was only natural that Presepe would care about it. If she could solve her curiosity, he would be willing to help with anything. Even more so, if she had asked him for something bigger, would Fenric have been unable to fulfill her request? But the idea that Presepe goes into the taboo forest in search of the true narrator was just an innocent thought that had no idea what the real goal was. As Fenric thought about this as he looked at the edge of the cliff, he slowly turned his head. Then, utter a word. Vidar. Fenric's heavy words echoed in the quiet air of the cliff. Soon, a familiar image appeared on the horizon. It was Vidar. You call me like a dog. Vidar said with a frown on his face, but approached Fenric, smiling slightly. You're the one chasing me like a dog. Ridiculous. But his statement was not wrong. Vidar laughed and said, True, if it wasn't for that, would I have still been alive when Ivan attacked me in the magic tower? More accurately, you knew I was close to you so you acted like that, right? Yes, something like that. This time, Fenric laughed a little. When Ivan used his magical power to attack Fenric, the black power that surrounded his body was not his own. It was all Vidar's strength. As Fenric looked at Vidar who was standing in front of him, his smile gradually began to fade. Vidar's face appeared clearly in his eyes, a reflection above his red eyes glowing in the moonlight. But it was a strange idea. How was he able to absorb the attack of a great wizard? Such power is said to only appear once every 100 years. Was it really easy? Fenric thought to himself. The taboo forest is the home and headquarters of all monsters, so it has become easier to get rid of annoying enemies. Vidar added slowly. That's right, it's the home of all monsters. Could it also be your home? Fenric clearly remembered that day. Since they first met, when Vidar came to the palace and they talked together. Who are you? At that moment, Fenric asked again. Yes, maybe. I'm just an ordinary monster. I'm a monster too. A worthless monster. Worthless? Fenric's bright red eyes were throbbing softly with that thought. It looks like you have some questions to ask. Well, I'm not sure. Fenric said slowly, opening his mouth. Even if I asked, I don't think you would answer honestly. I have questions, but I'm not sure of the answers. But that doesn't mean I haven't helped you yet, right? Don't be tight. Vidar muttered. And in case you're asking now, I'll probably answer honestly. In fact, it's not difficult for me. But faith will be up to you. Truly? So, tell me. What's your question? 3 questions, at least for today. Fenric said as he slowly began to answer. First, Fenric began to speak while thinking about how important the questions Vidar would ask him would be. It is said that monsters can recognize each other. Even if you are half a monster. What next? Does monster blood flow in Presepe's veins? But the words that followed made Vidar's blue eyes, which were like the sea, shake slightly. There was no way Fenric could have gone by without noticing this subtle movement. I was hoping you would tell me first if Presepe knew that. Why? Will the answer change depending on whether Presepe knew about it or not? Vidar did not respond to this question. I'm still not sure, but I'll know soon. Second question. Why did you tell me all this information? And why are you helping me? I just want to see everyone in chaos. Especially the Attilia Empire. Last question, Vidar. Are you still a normal monster? Vidar looked at Fenric's face close to him without changing his expression, then answered in a steady voice, yes. A very insignificant monster. Quickly, without hesitation, Fenric reached out his hand and pushed Vidar towards the sharp edge of the cliff, throwing him down.